We're at the 2009 BookExpo America Booksellers Convention at the Javits Center in New York City. I'm here with Stacy Lewis, Publicity Director from City Lights Books out of San Francisco. Stacy, what do you have coming out this fall?
Well, this fall we actually have a couple books coming out from Angela Davis. We have a collection of essays. It's her first book that's actually been published in about 4 years that covers themes that she's particularly interested in: racism, sexism, the prison industrial complex. And then a particularly interesting book that we're publishing with Angela is a new edition of the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave, which contains Douglass's narrative as well as essays by Davis that were part of a course that she taught at UCLA in the 70s. So it really brings to life that essay, and will also include a new essay written by her this year. So we're hoping that people who have read the narrative before take a look at this book, as it's going to be enriched by the new and the old work. We're also publishing The Awakener. It's a long-awaited memoir by Helen Weaver. It's about her life with Jack Kerouac, Lenny Bruce, Allen Ginsberg in Greenwich Village in the 50s. She was also involved in the publishing scene in the 50s, so it more than just focusing on Kerouac and the beats, it really presents a bigger picture of literary life in New York in the 50s, in Greenwich Village, which continues to always seem to be of interest. So we're excited about that one. And then our latest book that just came out is called The Peep Diaries: How We're Learning to Love Watching Ourselves and Our Neighbors by Hal Niedzwiecki. And what Hal is talking about is, at one time, everyone was interested in pop culture because everyone's fascinated by celebrities. But he's coined this term peep culture in that the focus has gone from celebrities to the focus on yourself, that you actually can be the celebrity, and you can do that by blogs and websites and YouTube videos. And so it's a commentary on what that change in technology has created for social and cultural life in the U.S., and it's very entertaining, and he actually inserts himself in lots of scenarios. He blogs all the time. He actually was at BEA today twittering people's secrets. People were asked to, if they wanted to get a copy of this book today, we asked them to tell us a secret, and then Hal went ahead and went on his Twitter account and tweeted those secrets. So yeah, some of the new nonfiction that we've got.
So regular Book TV viewers know City Lights as a bookstore, and your publishing offices are on the second floor of that bookstore. How did City Lights start, and who founded City Lights?
City Lights Publishing was actually started in 1955 by Lawrence Ferlinghetti, and many people know who Lawrence Ferlinghetti is. He's actually one of the most renowned poets in the world. He began the publishing company with a collection of his own poems called Pictures of the Gone World. That was the first book in the City Lights Pocket Poet series, which has gone on to continue publishing. We have about 60 books in print right now in the series.
So tell me a little bit about the bookstore and the publishing house. How does it work? Is there synergy between the bookstore and the publishing house, or?
Yeah, I would say that at one time, most of the people that worked in the publishing company had worked in the bookstore. The person that is now the editorial director, Elaine Katzenberger, worked for over 15 years in the bookstore and is now leading the way, publishing excellent books for City Lights. We're in the same building. It's quite symbiotic. The books that we publish very much reflect the types of books that we carry in the store: the commitment to progressive politics, literature and translation, new voices, gay and lesbian literature, poetry and translation. If one were to look at the City Lights list, or kind of think about the books that I was just talking about, and then walk through the store, you would get the same sort of sense that the selection there is being curated for you, and that's a very specific, intentional thing that's done by bookstore buyer Paul Yamazaki, Andy Bellows, who's assistant buyer and store manager, Peter Maravellis, and a whole host of other people working in the bookstore. So I think that the mission is one and the same that continues through the bookstore to the books that we publish.
Now, how old is Mr. Ferlinghetti, and is he still involved with the bookstore and with a publisher?
Lawrence is 90 years old, and we just celebrated his 90th birthday with him. At this point, I would say that any poetry that we're publishing is vetted by Lawrence, that it has to have his approval. But the great thing that he's done is that he hasn't kept the company to himself. He's delegated work to lots of people like myself, and let us kind of continue his vision in our own way. So at this point, we hope to see him. He comes into the office maybe a couple times a week to check mail and whatnot. But he's busy painting. He's still writing. He's kind of pursuing his own stuff. When I first started at City Lights, he would come into the office every day. So I'm glad to have had that privilege to see him and work with him.
Stacy Lewis, thanks. Publicity Director, Marketing Director, City Lights Bookstore in San Francisco.
Thank you.